What's up, everyone? Thomas here with ForReel. And as part of my coverage of the Toronto International Film Festival, I am on the line right now with director John Barker and actor Keenan Arrison to discuss their new film, The Umbrella Men, which is having its international premiere at TIFF in the Contemporary World Cinema Program. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here and welcome to ForReel.
Thanks for having us, Thomas.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely. I want to first of all congratulate you guys on the film being selected to screen at TIFF. That must be a really exciting thing for you guys.
It is. It's been ages since I've been there. I was lucky enough to be at TIFF for Buddy Chow many years ago. So we've kind of been hoping to get back there and finally made a film that Cameron and Natalia believed was strong enough to show off at the festival. So yeah, it's fantastic to be back. Very excited.
That's awesome. Keenan, how are you feeling about the Toronto Film Festival?
Firstly, it's such an honor to be a part of this film. It's very exciting. I must say. I know it's a week away, and the pressure's mounting. Just no expectations. Just come and represent an amazing film. So yeah, very excited.
Absolutely. And yeah, it is an amazing film, and I'm really excited to talk more about it. John, do you want to give us a synopsis of The Umbrella Men and also kind of set the stage for this film? Because I know for me, the carnival that's featured and much of South African culture is stuff that I was unfamiliar with before the film. So do you mind just giving us an overview?
Yeah, sure. Thomas, it's more of a kind of a caper film than a house film. It's about a group of musicians, not necessarily the A team or the B team or the C team, but pretty much the D team of bank robbers, musicians who try and rob a bank to save their nightclub. Their nightclub is based in the Boerkaap community, and it's a jazz club. And the jazz club, the funds that the club brings in helps to keep the minstrels going throughout the year. So their main competition tries to take the club away through the bank and through gentrification and taking away their property. So with their backs to the wall, they literally have to fight for their lives to try and save their club and their culture and their existence in Cape Town. So, and the comedy lies in the fact that they, like I said, they're musicians, not robbers. So we see them and we hope the audience, we go with them and hope like hell that they can actually pull it off. So yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess the main thread is that it's a thing, but a theme is really a father-son theme, which a lot of people can relate to. A very talented father, a son who wants to step out of that shadow. And Jaques' backstory is Jerome's backstory is that he goes to Joburg to get away from Cape Town, the comforts of his family and his family being really successful musicians, and he tries to make it on his own. And then through the film, the death of his father, realizes that actually his muse is in fact Cape Town.
Very cool. Very cool. In doing my research, it looks like you had done a movie called 31 Million Reasons. And I was curious of what the relationship is between that movie and this one, because it seems like the premise is pretty similar. And also the figure 31 million comes up in The Umbrella Men. So do you want to talk about that relationship real quick?
Well, yeah, thanks for noticing that. I wasn't really keen on putting too many of my references of the films I've made, but everyone was kind of like, well, it's the number 31 million. It just sounds like a lot, so leave it in. Stop being so precious. I was like, I didn't want it in, but the editor kind of said, no, we have to keep it in. I guess the only connection is that it's a heist film, but the 31 Million Reasons is very much a true story. It actually happened in Durban. A group of policemen turned bank robbers, as they do, and they robbed 31 Million Reasons. They literally walked into this cash depot, walked out. The cops didn't bust them. So this money was a lot of money at the time, because this was, I think, in the 90s. In Durban, and for then 31 million rand was a hell of a lot of money, and they still haven't found the money. So it was so funny. Every time we went on a recce to look at locations in Durban, every household we went to said, when we went there to say, listen, we want to shoot you, this is because of the story that it was in this area, and they all say, yeah, we checked in the ceilings, we checked on the floors, we couldn't find the money. So every household had actually checked to see if the money was hidden in there, because there was a rumor that that 31 million had been hidden in one of the houses in Chatsworth, and every single person that moved into Chatsworth had checked the floors and the ceiling to see if the money was there, but it wasn't there. So I mean, other than the connection of that it's a house film, there's not really much of a connection. The writer who wrote this film was a part of the writing team early on in Umbrella Man, but he moved off to Norway and did other things. But he is credited as a writer to Lev David, very talented writer. Yeah, so that's about it, I think.
Very cool. Very cool. Thanks for explaining that a little bit. Joining in on the call, actually, we now have Jaques De Silva, who plays Jerome in The Umbrella Man. Welcome, Jaques.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
Yeah, good to have you here. In fact, great timing, because I am ready to ask you actors some questions. I want to start off with what drew you guys to this movie. And Keenan, maybe we can start with you here. What was it that drew you to being a part of this film?
Well, to start, I guess John Barker. I've always been a fan of John's work, and I think it was a long time, I'd call it a dream of mine to work with John. I was initially part of the proof of concept we shot just over 10 years ago, right, John? And it's a caper, and it's got all the action and all the elements that I love about any film. So to be a part of it was quite a blessing. And then also the script. I mean, it was so well written. The characters were well rounded. It had so many layers to it: the world, location, setting, and just the relationships between these two friends. And then also working with these actors, guys like John, Shamila Miller, and Bronte Snell. It's just, I mean, I think it's every actor's dream. So it was a complete package, if I can say so.
That's
Thomas,
awesome.
Thomas, can I step in here quickly? Because Keenan was, we shot the proof of concept, we shot a teaser, like Keenan said, over 10 years ago. Probably more like 12, 13 years, Keenan. But Keenan that stage was playing a character called Young Yusuf. And he was like the baby in the troupe. He was actually playing like a 22-year-old. So as time has gone by, Keenan's character has now moved on to one of the leads, and now he became one of the leads because it's 13 years down the line.
Right.
And we really wanted to work with him. And the other funny thing is that his character, Young Yusuf, as time has gone by, we changed that male character into a female character, and that female character is now played by Mila.
Interesting. So I love that background information. That's awesome.
So we wanted to work together with Keenan for years, and I think every time I put to Keenan, he was like, "Hey, are we doing the film? Are we doing the film? Are we doing the film?"
Yeah, persistence pays off, I suppose. It only took 13 years, but
only
you made it
13,
happen. Well, Jaques, your turn. What drew you to this production?
Yeah, absolutely. All of the above, like Keenan, but also this is also a story about a marginalized community. And for me, how the community is represented within this story is something really special. Often you'll find that any narrative that involves colored people is about us as thieves and criminals. I suppose we are in the story too, but it is how we are represented. The narrative, so telling the story of the minstrels, the story of the Goema, the story of the real rhythm and feel of our community was also really, really exciting to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I was just saying, this me watching this movie, it was me being exposed to a bunch of culture that I was not aware of, and got to learn a little bit about through this really fun caper story. So it really is cool to be able to experience that here, and to have that a part of the Toronto Film Festival. Jaques, staying on you, you have a background in theater acting, correct?
Yeah, that's been my bread and butter up until the pandemic.
Is this your first feature film acting in?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I was wondering how you feel about film acting compared to theater acting, and I don't know, do you have a preference after this experience?
Careful the way you answer.
I mean, what
Uh-oh. Hold on, Jacques. You're kind of cutting out. Are you there? Keenan, let's go to you real quick. I'll come back to Jacques once his connection stabilizes. I wanted to know kind of on the same subject of career, how this role that you play as Mortimer compares to roles that you've played in the past.
I think Mortimer is really a standout role for me. A lot of the characters I do play are often sort of stereotyped or kind of grouped with a baddie, an antagonist or whatever. But I do feel like Mortimer and Jerome and the entire cast of the Umbrella Men sort of steps into that protagonist role as an ensemble cast. I guess as it is in South Africa, and John can probably kind of back me up over here. And Jacques also mentioned that it's you either playing the bad guy, you're playing the stereotypical sort of antagonist, and so it was cool to play a sort of nice guy for once, a very hectic, dangerous looking good guy. If I can say.
I think that's what I was gonna say about that, is that your character is just getting out of prison and tattoos and you kind of look hard, but it's a super soft, cool character.
Hard exterior, soft interior. He's a softie.
And I love that about your character. It's really a great dynamic, especially with the relationship between him and Jerome. Jacques, it sounded like you're on a roll with what you were saying. You were telling us about your acting on film versus acting on theater.
I'm really sorry about the break there.
Not a problem at all.
So I suppose what's exciting about film is the time you can dedicate to the relationships, to the moments, to the fleshing out, and both sides. What is really exciting to me is a relationship with the director who can shape the space and invite us into a world where we can play together as an ensemble.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. My next question is kind of for all of you. I wonder if, and I like asking this because I'm sure interesting, funny things happen on set when filming, but I kind of want some behind the scenes stories. Are there any interesting stories that may have happened while on set, while filming?
Where do we start, John?
Every day. Every day it was drama. I mean, I guess I think the craziest day we had, because it's such a low budget film, we only had one day in the tunnels, and the tunnels are this crazy tunnels that run under the city. They're very old. They're like 200 years old. Wow. And we should have, if we'd had more budget, we would have probably spent more days in the tunnel. But as it was, we were shooting 6 pages, I think 6 or 7 pages in that day. And I would have loved to have had more, but that for me was probably one of the toughest days, because the tunnels, as you know, the whole tunnel, I mean, the bottom is all curved. So it's not like we were in there probably for, I guess, 13 hours of the day, and there's no flat surface. So everyone's kind of standing in a bowl, in a half bowl, and you're kind of standing with your legs apart the whole time. And there's all this moss that's on the bottom, and everyone's slipping. Our producer arrived on set, Joel Peary arrived on set, and as he walked, as he was there for like 2 minutes, and he slipped completely, his feet from under him, to his laptop and everything, into the water. So he stuffed his back up, he stuffed his shoulder up. We had a lot of female crew members in the film, and they were amazing because it was smelly down there. It was the smell was so hectic. From time to time, the new smell would breeze through, and there were cockroaches on the walls. We found a snake. There were rats. There was rat droppings. There were like spider webs. The spider webs above us were so hectic that like the crew would sometimes I'd see like the cinematographer walking with his dreadlocks, and then there'd just be this big like silver spider web on his dreadlocks. So, and it was hot. I think it was pretty hot down there. I think it was hot, right?
It was very hot. Yeah.
So very uncomfortable to shoot. Very, very tough to shoot. No one really sees that from the film, but all of the actors and the crew on that day were fantastic. It was just was a really a tough day, but the scenes looked fantastic. So
Yeah, they really do.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking about that scene, and it looked a lot cleaner than what you're explaining, and so that movie magic there. You guys made that work out really well. Keenan and Jaques, did you guys have anything to add to that, or any other stories that come to mind?
Yeah, the cool thing about this project was that everybody, I guess, within, like, from the table read, everybody just became a family unit. So every day had its own sort of excitement and something new to offer. I guess one of my favorite scenes was we shot interior, getting through the tunnel, breaking into the vault, and just to discover the sort of set design and what the production team and art department all did. And we had to climb out and sort of see the money, all this money and everything for the first time, and the way we did it, everything just came together so nice, brilliantly. So that was one of my highlights, climbing out, looking as if we've just like dug how many hours, how many hours, John? How many hours were we supposed
8 hours,
to be down there? 8 hours underground, and just how it came together for me was, yeah, every day was really, really cool and exciting.
That's awesome. Jaques, anything from you?
Most of our behind the scenes will show people dancing. There was always a vibe on the set, and if there wasn't a vibe, Keenan arrived with his boombox at 6:30 in the morning to make sure that it was set up. So, so we really, when Keenan says it was a family, it was a family with a beat and a rhythm, and I think we all really, everyone really bought into and I think that it's totally due to like John really created an environment for us to everyone felt like they could bring of themselves and their personality and their boombox, and be present and be a
Who
part
knows?
of the
I might.
film.
Sorry, Jaques. I might just bring the boombox to Toronto. So
Please
you
do.
should, yeah.
Please do.
And actually,
the infamous
the
boombox.
other thing about Thomas, the other thing about having a low budget is that we didn't have any kind of trucking vehicle or anything to put our car onto, like a trailer to drive it around Cape Town. So all the scenes were done with Keenan like driving that car. So it was because we did a lot of those scenes. I mean, cut out a lot, but considering how much we shot, I think you must have driven for like 3 or 4 hours, take after take after take, driving that car. Yeah, so that was tough. We didn't have the tools and the money to have a flatbed. So
and also not looking onto the road.
Yeah,
I think that's the most common thing. Like, everybody asks me, why aren't you looking when you're driving?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know where I'm going.
You know where you're going, right? You're a natural.
Acting.
Fantastic.
I actually want to be a stunt driver. So, yeah.
There you go. A new calling for you. That's great. Well, John, really quickly, with this film now, obviously going to Toronto, and hopefully more and more people are going to see it. What is the thing that you want people to take away from this film or this movie watching experience?
I guess that it's a very marginalized community in terms of films that are made within that community. So I feel that, I mean, there's so many beautiful elements, like Jaques and Keenan both said about playing the bad guys. You know, it's really sad that those are the kind of roles that are out there for these two amazing actors and a lot of people that are in the film. So the one thing I love is that we've been true to and authentic to that community. And I think it's beautiful, and it says a lot about South African films that we're now getting to a place where we're not doing these broad strokes about apartheid, but we're now moving into smaller, more niche kind of communities and being true to the community and making it look fantastic and very authentic, and also making it something that, although it's in a small little community in Cape Town, I think it translates to an international audience where people can understand there's a hierarchy in a community. There's Tariq, who's the bad guy. There's his idiot son, who's taking over from his father. Everyone knows that kind of character. There's these two young guys who are torn. One went to prison. One had this other life, and you can see how different they are, even by the simple symbolism of of Mortimer having all the tattoos on his body. The last time that Jerome saw his friend, he wasn't covered in tattoos, so their lives have changed. And so it's just fun playing in the book and dealing with the comedy and the community who play beautiful music and original music. And it was just like such a joy to make the film. And I hope that the audiences kind of, when they watch it, they feel that and they get a sense that there's this fantastic place on the southern tip of Africa that they want to go and visit. I don't know. I hope SA Tourism give us some cash.
Well, it certainly makes me want to visit. So, and again, it's one of the great things about film is that people can be exposed to cultures and regions of the world that they may not have otherwise been exposed to. So thank you for doing that and for being able to showcase this. Yeah, absolutely. Last question very quickly for all of you. I am interested in knowing what you're looking forward to most in Toronto.
I can't wait to get to meet the rest of the community. This is my first film, and so the community we've built together as the Umbrella Men is warm and welcoming, and I've learned so much. So Thomas, I'm looking forward to meeting you and whoever and the rest of the filmmaking fraternity of the world. Let's play.
I love it. That's great. Keenan?
That's cool.
I think for me, it's seeing a sort of a reaction of the audience once they've seen the film and the sort of the post analysis of that and see what the world thinks of this film. I think they're going to love it. There are a couple of films that I've sort of marked to go and see. One of them being another South African filmmaker, Oliver Amanus's film is at the festival as well. But mostly to see John, and just be with their family again, meeting everybody there, and bringing a bit of a slice of Cape Town and South Africa to the rest of the world.
That's awesome. And John, coming back to TIFF, what are your thoughts and what are you looking forward to?
Well, like I was saying, Cameron Bailey was like a young programmer when he selected Buddy Chow, but now he's so rock and roll that he might not say hello to me. So I better have lunch with Cameron Bailey. That'll be cool. I just know that the Toronto audience are so fantastic, and they really are very film literate, almost like a community of cinephiles. They love every aspect of film, and I just want the actors to feel that they are really so special, and that Toronto does treat filmmakers and actors like that. And I think I'm really looking forward to going back to Toronto.
That's awesome. Yes, and hopefully I get a chance to meet you guys in person while I'm there. It would be a really, really awesome time, I'm sure. So all right, we're coming to the end of our time. Gentlemen, thank you guys so much for joining me on this chat about the Umbrella Men. I really appreciate it. For those watching, the next great caper film is making its international debut at TIFF, and that, of course, is The Umbrella Men, directed by John Barker and starring Jaques De Silva and Keenan Arrison, among a fantastic ensemble cast. Really, it is a really fun film to watch, and you can learn more about it at tiff.net. And thanks for watching. Until next time, everyone, keep it for real.
Thanks, Thomas.
Thanks, Thomas.